Hi guys! Today I'm feeling very pleased with myself because I have finally, after several years, finished the Artemis Fowl series. To be fair to myself, I have only been trying to finish it properly since February. It was the series I decided to finish it Feb. But I did start it the first time back in, maybe 2008 or 2009. Anyway, I have finished it now and I'm really pleased and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd talk about it. So the Artemis Fowl series is a book for children aged between 9 and 12. I think that's where it sits in branches of Waterstones. You'd probably call it middle grade in the US. It's about a boy who is a genius and from a wealthy family in Ireland, and he discovers the existence of fairies, or at least he kind of has the idea. He looks up, does lots of research, reads lots of stuff, and thinks because he's young enough, he's at that age where he still has the belief in things that are out of the ordinary. He thinks there might be a chance that they're real, and so he goes on the trail, he finds out they do exist, and then he hatches a plan to steal fairy gold. And he intends to do this by kidnapping a fairy and holding the fairy world to ransom. Basically, he's going to expose the existence of fairies to humankind if they don't give him what he wants. What he hasn't bargained for is that fairies, as well as having magic, which he's aware of and has planned around, have much more advanced technology than humans do. And that's why these books are so much fun. They combine technology, amazing technology, just like every book there's some new really cool gadgets, and it's amazing. It really puts James Bond kind of stuff to shame. It's absolutely fantastic. And but there's also magic on the other hand, and there's this whole fairy mythology that gets built up, and so you learn about that as you read them. After the first one, Artemis gets involved with the fairies some more, and they slowly sort of develop a friendship. I won't go too much into that because it would spoil it for you if you read this series. Obviously, when anybody's thinking about reading a fantasy series for this age group, they think of Harry Potter and they wonder if it's like Harry Potter. Artemis Fowl isn't really like Harry Potter. It doesn't build in the same way that Harry Potter does. There isn't that kind of epic world building that you get in Harry Potter, where every book adds and adds and adds, and it's all building towards one big climax. It's not really like that. The Artemis Fowl series does. It builds in the sense that you have the same characters coming back, and you know, things carry on from where they were at in terms of the characters and their relationships and their knowledge of each other, but it's not all building up one big story. Each book is kind of its own standalone adventure. So I don't think it has that kind of broad appeal to adults that Harry Potter does, just because the world building isn't as great and isn't as epic and it isn't as absorbing. But it is still a lot of fun, and every time the characters reappear, my heart just feels a little warm inside. You know, when you really love characters and you just get excited when they turn up in a book. Definitely got that feeling with a lot of characters in Artemis Fowl. Some people think that the books decline in quality as the series goes on, and I can see where they're coming from because there are some continuity errors, and the author did take some big gaps in between books to write other things, but I think they are fairly consistent. I would say that my favourite is the Opal Deception. It has my favourite villain in it, Opal Boy, and she comes back in other books and it's fantastic whenever she reappears, but I think she's at her absolute best in her first book, and she just doesn't seem that she doesn't seem as nasty. Like, she is really nasty, but in the Opal Deception, she is awful. It's really quite dark, and I love it. Then I'd say the first book. I love the first book. I think it's really clever. I don't have my copy here because I lent it to my boyfriend. Probably should have waited to film this video because we could have moved in together at the end of the week. So I would have had it then. But well. Then there's the second book, Artemis Fowl, the Arctic Instant. I think for time, I'm not quite sure on the rest of the books and the order I put them in, but the time paradox is really funny and it has serious peril in it. I really like there being a sense of real danger. At the time when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh my god, this is awful, I cannot take this. But afterwards, I'm like, wow, that was a good ride. And the time paradox definitely has that. Plus, it has number one, who is just hilarious and amazing. Also hilarious and amazing is Ryan in the Atlantis Complex. I won't tell you anything more about him because spoilers, massive spoilers. But that's also really, really funny. One of the things I really like about the series is how funny it is. This, you know, there's like so much humour. There's puns, there's wry observations, there's a lot of poo jokes. So many poo jokes. If you like toilet humour, then I think you'll get on with this quite well. It's not to the extent that, you know, some kids' books are, like a younger age ranges, like 5 to 8, where you literally read a book that's just full of poo jokes. But there are some long-running poo jokes that recur in these books, and it's I love it. The last book in the series, The Last Guardian, didn't have as much impact as I would have liked it to have on me. It just didn't seem as serious as the other books, but you know, I still liked it. And unfortunately, the third book in the series is the book I liked the least. I kind of read this and was like, if it's going to carry on with it like this, I'm not really going to like it that much. It just, the villain wasn't very good, and it's just sort of seemed to go away from what I like about the series. And yeah, it had some good things about it, obviously, but it wasn't my favourite, and I was quite glad when I finished it and could move on to the next one. I don't know what I'm going to read next, and I am going to do another video about this because I want to talk about series and lay out the possibilities for what series I could read next. So keep an eye out for that. Let me know in the comments, have you read the Artemis Fowl series? If you haven't and don't want to, then let me know what your favourite series for this age group. Again, I think it's 9 to 12, so think about that, let me know. If you don't read books for that age group, what did you read when you were that age yourself? Because, you know, you would have been. That's how getting older works. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Bye!